Hi. Your
Hey,
hair. Look at your hair.
I put it down. It was in a thing all day, and it needed to come down. It looks really messy, and that's because it is, because it's been up all day. These are fun things that happen when you grow your hair out, as I'm sure you're aware, Gare.
Yeah, my hair is super long. You're on such a delay. Do you have bad service?
Oh, absolutely. Let me get an Ethernet plugged into this motherfucker. One sec.
Okay. Really quick before we start the show, everybody, we got a couple things to say. I'm on a delay, too. This is weird. Oh, I'm going to have to do some audio editing, so you guys won't even be able to tell. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Apparently, if I say that, then that means that you guys will do it. That's what I've heard. So hit subscribe so you get all the notifications whenever a new episode is there. Ring the bell for whatever the hell. And, yeah, so that's that. And then let's see what Kevin has to say.
I didn't hear anything you said, but let me
know.
tell you something about swamp monsters. And they're different from Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is a character. And swamp monsters, though, they live in the swamp and they're real and they fucking kill you.
Oh, good to know. Thanks for that.
I don't know. It's weird. I'm just worried. I'm just worried because the more the world floods due to climate change, the more swamps that will become alive, you know? And that's a problem if you're trying to stop swamp monsters.
Speaking of the world flooding, it's raining here pretty bad. It's a big old downpour. I don't know if you can hear.
I can hear the pitter-patter. I honest to God thought those were leprechauns running around on your roof.
It's pitter-patter on my air conditioner. But yeah, so there's that. And if the power goes out and because otherwise I can't connect to the internet and this Zoom is gone. So this episode might be fucking 7 minutes long. We have no idea.
Will it save automatically if the power goes out?
Maybe not. It might be 0 minutes long. Who knows?
Great. Well, you know what? I don't care. I've had a weird day and I'm down with whatever is thrown my way as long as I don't have an ending to that sentence. I don't care anymore.
We're going to get into shout-outs. And then we're going to get into
video games.
Your weird day, and then video games. Let's hit the music.
Ba-doom, oh, no, you hit the music. Never mind.
Yeah. Hello, Kerrit podcast. Good song.
Yeah, this sounds like something carrots could grow to.
Crunch into us.
What's up, Doc? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Fuck them.
Crunch.
All right, everybody.
Okay.
Welcome to the Kerrit. Yeah.
Welcome to the Blugan.
Perfect.
Take it away, Garrett.
I'm Gerrit Elzinga, and that's Kevin McCarthy over there.
Yeah, and we like to talk about things, and it's episode 62.
Nope.
1.
I think it's 60. I think we've hit
60 exactly.
Episode 60.
Feel free to correct us in the comments. We don't have a way to do that, so you'd have to email those comments. So
you can email, you can on Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff.
Yep.
And
Please
YouTube,
email us.
The YouTube comments. There's that. If anyone's watching this.
I think that YouTube comments are actually where the most I don't know how to put this. The best discussion is happening on YouTube forums, on their boards, on their message boards, because if you want to get involved in racism, YouTube. If you want to support hating women, YouTube. If you're interested at all in pedophilia, YouTube. It's just great. So it's definitely
a lot of conspiratorial stuff on there for sure.
I don't know how much of it is conspiracy. I mean, we all know Hillary Clinton banged little children in pizza basements.
Pizzagate. Yeah, that's
a thing.
100% not true.
It is not true. That is true. It is true. It's not true.
I will say this. I found out that we have another listener. My cousin, Ethan.
Steven!
No.
Oh. Was I close?
No, younger cousin, but very impressionable age.
How
So
old is this gentleman? Am I allowed to ask, or?
Young, like
Oh boy,
maybe 16. I don't know how old he is.
60? That's old.
16.
Oh, 16's old for a teenager. They're basically adults at that point.
I guess, but I'm just saying, like, I say the F word and the C word a lot, so I'm not trying to stop because
Clean episode, guys.
Nope, I've already.
Well, gosh darn, Gerrit, you're messing things up for everybody.
Oh, I'm fucking him up real good.
You.
But yeah, I just want to say if he's watching or listening, just
Subscribe.
Tell your parents I miss them, and they're the only good ones in the Elsingas. All right.
Oh, how wonderful.
No, don't say that, but also, you guys are great. So, thanks for listening and watching. That's a shout-out. We got Nestor. We got Alex Plotkowski. Alex is holding us to talking about Bond video games.
Okay. Here, we're going to do this time, and I want to, and I'm going to tell you why.
But first, you got to tell us about your weird day.
This is super minor. It's, I don't want to... Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know how to put this. If you send out a work... Let me put it like this, without giving too much away. Work emails, when multiple people are involved, end up becoming a weird form of miscommunication.
Mm-hmm.
And when there are people working at different times that need to respond, or if you need somebody to bounce ideas off of and they're not on anymore due to scheduling, and yet this email has to go out, and then your internet goes out, and even though you've been eating all day, you feel like you haven't eaten anything, so you're hungry, and that makes you mad because it's part of your genetics. I'm describing myself here.
Yeah, I relate to that pretty hard.
And it just all amalgamated into a giant blob of bullshittiness. And I was just like, at the end of the day, I had a fine day, and then the last 30 minutes, I was like, what? I was like, all fingers. And I don't know what that phrase means, because I feel like that's actually beneficial in some ways. But I think it means all unable to I don't know what it means. Do you know what it means?
I think all fingers at the same time. I think it's basically like it's like a Black Lives Matter also kind of thing, where the word also is you have to say that to get stupid people on board, but all fingers at the same time, I think. Because if you have all fingers working at the exact same time, you're not getting anything done. But if you have one hitting, doing its job individually, all fingers seems to me like you're just hitting on the keyboard, nothing's happening.
Right. Yeah. Well, so I'm just ignoring this until tomorrow, basically.
Good.
I mean, I think it'll be fine to wait till tomorrow. I don't think anyone's going to do anything, so. It
is weird when your day gets ruined with 10 minutes left. And you're
it's I'm about to clock out. I'm just trying to get the wording right on this email. Because if I'm sending an email to a bunch of people, I'm not trying to have any form of miscommunication. But also, if something is not, if the information isn't given exactly, or if there's some sort of misunderstanding, I'm going to have 30 people emailing me. And I'm not even the person who knows what's going on. I just have a basic idea. I was just told to send this out. So
why don't you guys have Zoom meetings? I feel like you could get it done so much quicker.
You really don't need a Zoom meeting for this. It's a very brief piece of information.
Well, clearly you do, because there's so much miscommunication.
No,
all right.
I really don't want to get into it too much, but it'd be like saying to you, "Hey, I'm available on either Tuesday or Thursday to see this movie between the hours of 4 and 5."
And then I'm like, "But what about Wednesday at 3?"
Right. So
no,
that would be a concern, because all of a sudden I have 40 Gerrits emailing me being well, do you mean, so can I do this? It's well, I mean, no.
Is that between this day and that day at these specific times? No? Then stop talking.
And I think anxiety is used as a buzzword a little too frequently, and I'm not really a person who gets super anxious about things, but every once in a while, things like that where every little thing kind of affects every other little thing in a very immediate sense. I'm just God, and I fucking get so mad, and I can't.
Do you ever have days where you drop something and it's the worst thing that's ever happened to you? You're like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I think that's not anxiety or a panic attack. I think it's just like
Anger.
it's just your anger and your anxiousness coming out. They're two different things. Like, I've been depressed. I don't think I suffer from depression, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I hear you on that. I think that's true. I was just having this conversation with Heather like 3 days ago, where every once in a while I'll just like be looking at the wall for like 15 minutes during a conversation, and it's mostly because of like things that are happening around us, obviously in politically and all that stuff, and it sucks because like it's kind of like if you didn't have the internet, it would not be worth thinking about in some ways. Like you wouldn't be like a lot of this, even though the news I look at is real. At the same time, they are writing articles that are trying to grab your attention
For sure.
and right now anxiety sells, or you know, and so yeah, you know, they're gonna have an article about every little thing, about every little person in Trump's circle or whatever, and it's so easy to read because you just want more information. And in any case, it's been just getting me like it feels like it goes like I'll go like 5 days amazing and then like 4 days of shit and then like 5 days of amazing and then like 2 days of shit or 3 days of shit and then like 6 days of amazing, and it just kind of rotates like that.
Kev, what do you do when every day is shit?
Oh
The
God,
past 4 months have been shit.
I honestly don't know. I would I mean, it depends. If I didn't have a job and if I didn't have a girlfriend, 100% drunk all the time. Which doesn't help you, but...
No, you know what's funny? Today's the first day I actually thought about... I'm not going to. So I forgot how long I had been sober because of the pandemic. The only way I remembered was by telling the joke about being sober. So I would be like 2 years, and then the joke is, you know, however long, I think. I can't remember because acid alters time. That's the joke.
Oh, yeah.
But then I hadn't told the joke in so long, so I forgot how long I've been sober. And now thinking about it, it's been 2 years and 6 months and 9 days. I have to look at the date because I picked New Year's Day. That was what it was 2 years ago. So anyway, long story short, today was the first day I actually thought, you know what sounds really good right now? Like a nice, easygoing Pilsner. Just like, it was so fucking humid. I was like, I could really go for a... And then I'm like, well, maybe if I travel abroad, I could drink there. Like, if I went to Ireland, I could... And then I'm like, oh, yeah, it's European Union. I can't fucking get in.
Right,
So
I know.
it's like, I can't... I have no option. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to drink here. That sounds awful. And then I'm like, I could have a Schmittix. I remember Schmittix. Like, just the idea of having just one. And then that's the thing, too. It's like, I can't cut myself off at one. It's just going to snowball. And I'm like, well, I fucking... And then the thought went away.
Right.
So
I do think it's funny, the idea that if you're in a different country, it's okay to engage in that sort of activity. When I was abroad, and I wasn't a smoker at the time, but I'm in Spain, and I'd be like, oh, I'm in France. I'll take a cigarette. Oh, I'm in Morocco. I guess I'll have a cigarette. I'm in Morocco. And a couple of quick things on what you just said, because holy shit, you're just dropping truth bombs. You're like, the rain is not outside the house. It's inside your room right now, and it's not water. It's fucking universal truths.
I'll drop another truth bomb on you, but go ahead.
So what I was going to say is I actually recently realized that I have not had a cigarette in over, I think my 2-year anniversary was in like a couple days ago.
Congrats.
Because my last one was with you. When I came back from Spain, we hung out like a few days after I got here.
It was at your place on Arthur, wasn't it?
No, I think that at that time my house was gone, and we went to a place in Hastings, like a bar, and I was drinking, and I had just a couple puffs. I didn't even have a full cigarette, but I had like a couple, and I was like, you know, I'm good. Like I haven't had one in like 3 months at that point. I've been doing pretty good, and I just gave it back to you.
Was it the Rolly?
Is that the one in Hastings with like 3 levels or something like that?
No, that's the Waldorf. I'm saying, was it a Rolly?
Oh, it was a Rolly. Yeah, it was a Rolly. Yep. See, I've been out so long, I forgot that was a term.
Well, I've been having those for over, I guess, 2 years now.
Yeah, I mean, those are great. I love those.
Well, they taste so much better. I can actually inhale now. I feel great all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I still think about cigarettes all the time. I thought about them today, you know? Mm-hmm. So, anyway, the other thing I was just going to say was, thinking about, like, how sometimes you want to break out of where you are, and maybe that will give you some perspective or reset your brain a little bit, and like literally there's nowhere to go. We are trapped in a country that treats this like it's a joke, and everywhere else won't take us legally. So
Yeah.
we're stuck in purgatory for the time being.
It's so funny that no one sees that as like an infringement on our rights, because you know, like the idea that, oh, wearing a mask, that's an infringement. Well, what about other countries that won't allow us to go there? Well, I mean, we're the greatest nation on the... Clearly we're not. I mean, if other... You know, I mean, Trump has just turned this into a whole shithole country, which is ironic because he called other countries shithole countries.
It's so funny because I really thought we could escape 4 years relatively unscathed.
I thought so too.
More or less. And then, you know, all of a sudden... a pandemic hits for the first time in 100 years. I mean, we had brushes with it with like SARS and swine and Ebola and a few other things.
And how many people died with those, Kevin? Less than this, right?
Not too much.
in more time? Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, kind of weird. Weird.
The other thing that I just thought was, the irony of him calling other countries shithole countries, and then... what was it? It was
we were
something.
talking about drinking and...
No, it was still with Trump. It was political something. The people that right when he got elected were saying, like, well, give him a chance. Give him a chance. What are those people? Days. What are those people doing now? We don't get any credit for saying he's going to fuck up, right?
Oh, no, of course
we don't get any credit. We're still wrong. Nope, he's doing a great job with leadership. Anyway.
I mean... Yeah. So yeah, this has been one of those days. It hasn't rained over here, but let me tell you, it needs to, just so that I can have my mood match with the outside. I love that. That'd be great.
I like it. You guys are probably hearing the ping pangs on the air conditioner, but...
Yeah. Again, I'm pretty sure those are leprechaun feet. Yeah, you should capture them. They will lead you to a pot of gold. I mean,
we all need that right now because we're not getting another stimulus.
Did you hear that? I feel like there were so many things I wanted to talk to you about earlier in the week, and I just don't want to anymore, and yet somehow I'm still doing it.
Please do.
Did you hear that Congress had recessed for 2 weeks?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, they recessed for 2 weeks, beginning on Monday. So I don't know if you have kind of noticed, like, there haven't been too many updates in that sort of regard.
No, there's just been updates with the Supreme Court. So
right,
they've been ruling on everything, which is great, but also, we need a fucking stimulus.
I know.
Like, think about all the people that couldn't get unemployment, that don't have jobs, and they didn't get any money, or they maybe got their stimulus of $1,200 for 4 months. Are you kidding me? And then the idea, well, get back to work. And if you don't go to work, then you're lazy. No, it's not safe out there. People tested positive at my job. It got closed. That's what happens because no one's taking it seriously. Oh, my God.
It's a bunch of misinformation and a lot of it's billionaires in politics who are just caring about their wealth.
Or fake billionaires, because Trump has zero money. Did you know his first... I found this out today. There's a documentary on Netflix. The Commodore Hotel. Do you know this story? 1975. He acquires the Commodore Hotel because it was closing. So he's going to do a renovation on it, 2-year renovation. It costs a ton of money. And he levies the city to have him, like, not have to pay taxes for 40 years. Then he has another one, levies the city using mob connections, because they weren't going to do it, to not have to pay taxes on that building, Trump Tower, for another 40 years. All that shit's catching up with him, and that's why he wants to keep being president. He pushes these things off because he's only thinking about this moment now. and he's not thinking about the consequence. He's still doing it.
He's an idiot. I mean, he's a fucking moron.
Fucking kill him. Jesus, he's so awful.
I heard, I read a book about this, and I must say I didn't retain all of the information, which is unfortunate, but that's just kind of how it goes with the way my brain works.
Yeah.
But one of the things I remember was when the recession hit in 2008, he sold a home he bought for like $95 million. This is in Florida, to a Russian oligarch.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Which was like $60 million more than he paid for it. And this is when the bubble had popped and nobody was paying more for a house than it was worth, you know? So it was like an obvious form of money laundering.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing I remember from a book about this.
Well, there's other stuff around that housing market. I don't know if we talked about it on the pod, but if you listen to The Daily, there's an episode about Trump and Deutsche Bank. I feel like we talked about that.
We did. We talked about it last episode, actually.
Yeah. No, there you go. You listened. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I did. I did this time.
We're fine.
Just making sure I didn't sound like too much of a fucking idiot, so.
No, you were great. We're both great, right?
Yeah.
Right, Ethan? We're great.
Yeah. He was like, no, you're great, Uncle Gerrit.
No, it's not Uncle. Cousin
Gerrit.
Its voice is
Sorry, cousin.
No, its voice. He's hit puberty.
Cousin Gerrit. Oh, love your show.
Okay, now he sounds 60. One more thing I wanted to say. Truth bomb. I posted this on my Instagram story. I said I would rather. Shit. I had it and then I lost it. Hold on. Let me look, everybody.
Why don't we just pause while Gerrit looks through Instagram, everybody?
No, we don't have to. I said I'd rather iconize a liberator than glorify a murderer, and then the next thing is me putting the Harriet Tubman face over Andrew Jackson.
Oh, nice.
On the 20s, if you guys can see that, if you're watching. But yeah, comic Gabe Kia, he's been doing that for a while, and I decided to buy one on eBay, and I'm going to be doing that to my 20s now.
Are you going to, like, draw them? How does that work?
No, there's a stamp you can get from eBay, so you just stamp it right on there.
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm. That's a good idea, because they still have to accept it.
Yeah, they do. So
they do.
There you go.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Well, that's great. I like little forms of anarchy, not big forms.
I like that quote. I'd rather iconize a liberator than glorify a murderer. Mm-hmm. Love it.
I like the word iconize. That's a good word. I haven't heard that word in a while.
I was going to say idolize, but I'm like, no one wants to be an idol. You want to be an icon. So iconize. I don't know. I feel like
Trump kind of wants to be an idol.
Fuck him.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess my example is bad. I'm sorry.
Come on. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Okay.
I feel like it's going to get worse next month because you're right. We're not going to get a stimulus check. If it does happen, it's not going to happen until September at this point, I would imagine.
Well, yeah, if they called recess for 2 weeks, and then they'll have to keep, negotiating, and then, I mean, unemployment's going to run out too, so I'm screwed on that. So, whatever.
Yeah, well, this is the time to invest in a tent and the Upper Peninsula.
Well, come back.
Time.
Come back and we'll go. You, me, Jackie, let's get out of here.
I requested time off on Labor Day, so I have a 5-day weekend on that day. So that's cool.
I remember we were supposed to hang out with Wes, but it's like, it's not getting any better, bud. I don't want to go.
It sucks because it's not, there are, whatever, fucking Christ, Jesus, fucking shit. Hey, so,
video games.
Video games. Here's the thing, Alex Plakowski. There's not much to talk about. Let's be real here. The only good, okay, there's a few good ones. Okay, let's just name the good ones. GoldenEye.
Great.
The World Is Not Enough. It's solid.
It's solid. I found out they were Rareware, which is the company that made GoldenEye. They were supposed to make The World Is Not Enough, but something happened with licensing, so they weren't able to do it. So then Electronic Arts, I think, took it over.
That's so unfortunate that we could have gotten one more of those glorious things.
No, maybe it wasn't The World Is Not Enough. You skipped one. Tomorrow Never Dies. That's the PlayStation.
Yeah, but that was on PlayStation. No one remembers that one.
Black Ops was the company that made that one, and they shit the bed so hard. But it's because there was another game that was planned that was going to be of what happens after the events of the movie. And
of
then,
GoldenEye or of Tomorrow Never Dies?
Tomorrow Never Dies. And I think
after the events?
Yeah. So there's like a skiing mission, and then there's like him scuba diving or some shit, and then that got canned. So then they had to like quickly do the events of the movie in a game, and it is trash. It's not good. I remember it fondly because I played it all the time.
You did play it all the time.
I played all the games all the time.
I like played that one. I honestly like an hour in my life because I didn't get a copy myself. I borrowed it from a friend of mine in elementary school.
Oh wow!
And it wasn't you, but
I know.
I remember like just going through like the first level and just I don't know. I guess the third person seriously threw me off, and that was enough for me back then to be like, "This is stupid. Like, why would you do that?"
And then with The World Is Not Enough, they went back to first person.
Mm-hmm.
I love that for the video. I just showed my hand and wagged it, but
right.
They did that for there's a Nintendo 64 and a PlayStation version of The World Is Not Enough. I played the PlayStation version.
Oh.
And you played the Nintendo 64 version.
Yeah, because you're trying to recreate the magic of GoldenEye, and the best way to do that is get it on Nintendo 64. Mm-hmm. And it is, it's not an amazing game, but it's not bad. It's really not bad.
No, I never played the missions of the Nintendo 64. I beat the game of PlayStation. I just played multiplayer with you.
Oh my god, this makes me want to play that again because I got stuck like halfway through that game on one of the levels. I could just never get past it. Fucking A, I should do it.
Are there cheats on that game?
Oh hell! Well, I was gonna say hell yeah, but I actually have no idea.
See, that's the big failure. Because GoldenEye is so great because there are cheats, there's special things you can do, and then there's the amazing multiplayer. And it's like every game, this is the problem. Every game after GoldenEye, they've tried to recapture that magic, but every game fails in some aspect. That's why GoldenEye is so perfect.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's so true. There are so many great things about GoldenEye. I think, okay, first of all, I don't even know where to begin.
Let's begin at Damn. The music, it's...
Well,
I have the soundtracks. I have the soundtrack to GoldenEye on my computer.
Nice.
Yeah, I found it. I have it. The music is so great and iconic. And it also reflects the music of the GoldenEye movie, which is like that 90s weird kind of techno-y, synthy, it's this weird
Eric
combination.
Serra.
Yeah, but it's like, it fits it so well. And what they did with the game is they extended levels in a certain way, and they made it more interactive. And the graphics are good enough. They're not the best, and I think graphics get better over time in video games, but it's so...
It's
groundbreaking.
For
it's
what
so,
it is, though, too.
It's better than World Is Not Enough, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think World Is Not Enough is a weird case where at first glance it almost looks better, and I guess maybe it's because of the colors. And it almost looks more solid. It's hard to explain, but it is not as good. And I just have to say about GoldenEye, you're talking about how the levels kind of get more expansive, like the more you're going through them?
No, I mean like they're taking the movie itself and then expanding parts of the movie.
Oh, to make them into like
playable games.
Because like,
and it's fun. It's
right,
fucking
like,
fun.
Damn isn't in the movie. It starts with him bungee jumping. He doesn't actually murder a bunch of people beforehand and then do the bungee jumping. Also, one of the fun things about that game is Damn is an easy example. And I think that there are examples in like all of the levels, but since we're going through this starting with that one, you can complete the mission. All you have to do is like get to the jumping point and jump off, and that's it.
Yeah.
But if you go to the right, there are like 3 warehouses that you can venture into and then go underground and just like start murdering people, and well, they're bad guys. But there is another like piece of mission down there. I forget what it is exactly.
Well, there's different. You have what is it?
It's like blow up some machine, like some radar stuff.
You have 3 different type. Well, technically, let's get to that. But you have 3 different types of missions. You have agent, secret agent, and then 00 agent. So each one has different mission objectives. So I think for agent, all you have to do is just get to that bridge. Secret agent, you have to shoot all the alarms on the level.
Right.
So you disable the surveillance system. D is you have to go down, or 00 agent, you have to go down there and then blow up the mainframe or whatever.
Right, that's what it was.
Yeah, it might be secret agent too. I can't remember. But then and then you make the bungee jump. But there's a 4th way to play the game. Did you know this? The 4th one. If you complete the entire game, you get all the cheats, everything's done, you completed everything. You have the 007 option, where you can control how much health you have, how fast the villains are, how reactive they are, how much health they have. It goes from like 0 to 1,000 or something like that. Nice. And you can control all that. So you can shoot one person in the leg and they fall down.
Dude, that's amazing.
It's great.
It's cool, too, when you shoot somebody in that game, there's, like, blood. Which, I mean, like, it's a lot of blood for a game like that. It's kind of like, oh, my goodness, like, what is going on?
It's so weird because it's not like blood spurting or anything. It's just like you shoot them and then a patch of red shows up on their, green suit or whatever.
Yeah, their military uniform.
Yeah, it's like, it is a lot of blood.
It's a lot because you can shoot them repeatedly and like make them all red. Yeah. And I know this because I've totally done that before. Yep. You can shoot their hats off too.
You can shoot their butt and then they they jump up and grab their butt.
Yeah.
That's fun. It's fun. I mean, that's the thing about this game is like it came out in 1997, 2 years after the movie had come out.
That's why
it was still like they took so much time on it and they did such a great job making it because there is so much in that game. We haven't even touched on multiplayer. There's multiple different ways to play. There's You Only Live Twice, Man with a Golden Gun, Slappers Only. Who the fuck uses that? But it's just a fun little thing.
Yeah, choosing different scenarios and whatnot. It's funny because I feel like it's more well known for the multiplayer aspect, and even though I did that, I loved the levels so much.
Levels were great.
Through it was just amazing.
The multiplayer, I mean, even including characters in the game, right, from characters in the actual like single player game and the movie itself, and then you have bonus characters from other Bond movies. You have Jaws, Baron Samedi, Oddjob, who you can never get because he's a cheater. Yeah,
he's cheating. He's too small. You can't shoot him when he's too small.
Who's the other one? Who's the 4th?
What, Jaws? Did you say him already?
There's Jaws, Oddjob, Baron Samedi, and
Twine. Oh no, the world's not enough. What? Oramov?
No, from not GoldenEye. Who's the 4th character you can beat? I can't remember.
Moonraker.
No.
They do have somebody you can play like Moonraker suits in it though.
Yeah, because there's all the other like guard characters or whatever. So there's a bunch of unlockable characters that go. It's something like 64 characters you can play as or something like that in multiplayer.
No, it's a Nintendo 64.
We're gonna take a break.
Well, before we do, quick thing. That I think is also lost on people is that the gun sound effects are the same as the movie.
Oh, they are? Yeah.
I believe so. Like, if you listen, they're the same, and you're like, what? Like, my childhood was real. I remember.
That sounds about right. I'm going to find out who this 4th character... Is it It's not Scaramanga. Oh, god damn it.
It could be. Maybe it's Scaramanga's third nipple, and it's just a giant nipple. And he's really easy to shoot because he's just like this enormous walking nipple thing.
Nope.
Who was it?
I don't know. I'm going to hit this, and we're going to take a break.
Okay, anchors away!
Oh, I just found out multiplayer was added last minute. I didn't know that.
Wow. Well, they fucking... I don't know how the hell they got so much detail into that thing for it being last minute.
It's so great. All right, we're going to take a break. Anchors away.
Yay! Ah! Yeah. Welcome back. Thank you so much, Gerrit, for that wonderful advertisement. I liked how it advertised the platform we are on currently.
I feel so bad for people watching on YouTube because they're like, why are they taking a break? There's no Anchor ad on YouTube.
Aw, those poor guys. They're probably so confused. There's probably one 12-year-old who's like, oh no, God! And then they shut us off.
That's Ethan. Okay, so talking about GoldenEye.
Yep, we got through how amazing the levels are and how they added the multiplayer last minute, and the gunshots are the same, and the music's great, and the different levels and all that good stuff.
The 4 characters from other movies: Jaws, Oddjob, Baron Samedi, and Mayday.
Oh, Mayday!
Yep.
I like Mayday.
Me too.
She's if the plane's going down and I'm yelling Mayday, I'm not too worried about the crash, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? Let me try that again.
That was the grossest way to say that you were having sex with Grace Jones.
So it did make sense. Okay, it did make sense. Cool. I can try it again anyways.
Please
Let us say we're on an airplane, and let's say I've put autopilot on, and everything's going swimmingly, and I start yelling, oh, Mayday, Mayday! And the air traffic control is like, what's wrong? Your plane looks fine. And then I would say back to them, it is. Is that good?
That was the most Roger Moore thing you've ever said, so there's that.
Hey,
It
was better. Yes.
So I have the games. I have GoldenEye and your copy of The World Is Not Enough on N64, but those games are somewhere else. But I found all the PlayStation 2 games, so when we talk about them, I'll show them. I'll show them to the people.
Okay. Let's start with Tomorrow Never Dies. I want to prove that you still have it.
I have it.
That's got to be worth like $7.
$2.99.
Where'd you get it for $2.99?
I got it from Play and Trade.
What the on Alpine. I know that place.
I also got The World Is Not Enough from Play and Trade.
Is it good on? Is it first person still on PlayStation?
Yes. And my favorite mission on this one is you get to go. Okay, so you remember in the movie The World Is Not Enough where you go to the casino and you have to like help Elektra, with the money or something, and then she gives the money to Valentine Zukovsky, and it turns out that it's like some back deal. It was like a deal. It wasn't actually her losing or something.
Right.
In the game, you have to get a voucher to go in the room, and to get that voucher, you have to win enough money to get it or something. So you play roulette. Or no, sorry. You play Blackjack. So you play blackjack, and that's how I learned how to play. So you can just like play the dealer, and then you play. I played blackjack so much just on that game. It was my favorite level. It was great.
That's crazy. I don't think I've gotten that far in that game. Like that's how far I didn't get.
I don't think it's on the N64 one though.
Fuck.
It's just the PlayStation.
So not cool.
They're so different. So I want to play this one again.
I'm mad. Like, that's not cool. My favorite one was...
Can you see the graphics? Can you see how
awful they... they're not terrible, right?
It's better than GoldenEye.
Well, PlayStation had better graphics than N64, though, right?
But that's the thing. You can only hold... I think you can hold more on a cartridge than you can on a disc. So, therefore... the this is one player. There's no multiplayer. So for as good as the game is and it's first person, it doesn't have the magic of GoldenEye because it doesn't have multiplayer. Multiplayer is on the
N64 version.
N64, yeah.
Yeah. I like it multiplayer on World's Not Enough because you can always just throw those sticky grenades. And they like beep for like 3 seconds and then you run away and they destroy like 25% of the map. So as long as you're in the basic vicinity and you get some cover, you get a kill. Which
That's
is cool.
how you always killed me. You
I know,
awful.
so many times.
Dude.
So many times.
We would have the bots on. That was my favorite part of multiplayer in that game is because they introduced something where you could name the robots that you play with. So if you didn't have 4 people... And I will say this is the bad part of GoldenEye. If you have 4 people playing, there is such a lag. It's crazy. It's bad. But 2 people on World Is Not Enough is all you need, and then you can create robots to play along with you. So they're AI, and you can name them. So we'd name them like Ballsack and Titty Balls and like Butt Muncher. And it was like... There's some things you couldn't name it, though, because they'd block it.
Yeah, there were some. You had to get a little creative.
We'd be like, fuck tits, and it wouldn't work.
God, we had so much time on our hands.
Dude, I mean, we do now. I wish we could live like we lived back then now. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. That's what getting older is all about, because now the hope is that we can get our own homes, and then we can do this in our basements, when we're not working ourselves to the bone to survive.
Well, now most people don't have to. It's just we can't survive. There's no money. So
Perfect. Well, was there ever any? No, I'm just kidding. There was, technically. There was.
There's another thing that Tomorrow Never Dies did was there's driving missions, and those were fun. I think World Is Not Enough did that too. Is there?
There wasn't one in the N64 version, but again, I only got like halfway through it, so...
Look at this. Question. Look at this for YouTube people. Look at this rendering of Pierce Brosnan.
It's weirdly
Tomorrow Never Dies.
It's so close to being good, and it's also not great.
He also doesn't look like that in the game at all. It's so different. Like what was the?
Not even in the cutscenes.
No, not at all.
PlayStation was not great graphics. Let's be honest.
But they were just a couple years later with with The World Is Not Enough.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was around the time. When did the PS2 come out? Like 2000?
I think so.
Like somewhere around there. 2000, because I remember Grand Theft Auto 3 was definitely out by 2001. Yeah, because Brett Dry showed it to me in 5th grade. He's like, look at this. This is awesome. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but it looks cool.
Let's see here. Yeah, I think it's 2001. So EA Games takes over, and they also...
Oh, they're the worst.
They did Tomorrow Never Dies as well. So it was Black Ops and Electronic Arts. And then Black Ops also did the PlayStation version of The World's Not Enough.
Huh. Interesting.
So, but it was EA Games as well. But the thing is, they didn't start sucking yet because these games aren't the worst. They're like they don't recapture the magic, but they're trying something new, so I kind of give them credit for that. And then there's also another game which I never played. This is
007 Racing.
Yeah.
Yes, I nailed it. That is a fun game. You should totally play that game.
I mean, I should. I know. But...
Dude, just take some mushrooms and sit down and just play like a level from each one, and you will have a good time.
Oh no! I moved my computer. Look at this.
Motion sickness.
All right. Maybe I'll play it. Who knows?
It's good. You can do like oil slicks, and that was a tough game though. I was so bad at video games when I was a kid. I feel like I would play them and like try a little, but not too hard at the same time.
Interesting. You wouldn't try?
I don't know how to explain it. Like,
you didn't take them seriously.
Yeah, maybe that's the word. Like, I wasn't like a hardcore gamer. And even these days, if I'm playing a game, I mostly am playing just to get to the end so that I can say that I finished it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do all the side quests. Like, I try to do some side quests, and then there comes a point where I'm like, this is stupid. I've gotten, like, nowhere, and I've put so many hours in, and I've only gotten, like, 20% of the side quests completed.
Well, that's an interesting thing because I think it's a newer thing with side quests and stuff. I mean, Grand Theft Auto did it too, but it's like you can still finish the game in a reasonable amount of time, and the things you get for doing them far outweigh the the thing of not doing them. So like a game like GoldenEye, there's no side quests or anything. The side quests are finishing everything in a timely manner. Yeah. So if you finish this level in this amount of time, then you can get this award. So you'd get a cheat. Like if you finish this level with not getting shot, then you get this reward, DK mode. So all the people have like huge heads and long arms.
Donkey Kong mode.
Yes.
Oh, so fun.
So that was a fun little thing that they did, and there's so much packed into that game. But the other ones, like, they took themselves too seriously, and I think that's the biggest loss of opportunity for those games. It's like there's no sense of fun. It's all mission. It's so strange how it worked out that way. But
yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird because the movie came out in 95. The game comes out in 97. I remember the game so much that I thought it came out at the same time. And it's because I was older, so I was able to like have those memories a little clearer in my head. And but for the other games, it was just kind of like, oh, like throw it out there.
Well, yeah, because Tomorrow Never Dies came out in 98. Let me check. 99.
Damn, I didn't realize it was that much later.
That came out in 99. World Is Not Enough came out
2000?
2000. So it's like they took a year to work on them, but they were so past the point of the movie. And then the other ones, so no games on PlayStation 2 have anything to do with movies, except for From Russia with Love, which is a movie from 1963.
Right. Well, did you ever play, like, Agent Under Fire?
Dude, did I?
Oh, here it is. Oh, wow.
Yeah, this game was fantastic. It is also Electronic Arts. It has multiplayer, and I will be honest, I think this one captures the heart and fun of GoldenEye the most.
I've not played that. I feel like for some reason PS2 I never got into, and it sucks because I don't have those memories, and they're such good games.
There's oh shit. There's
what the fuck is going on over there?
There's driving missions. There's 10 levels, but they're interactive. There's cool little. You can do an alternate entrance to a place where you can either go through the front door and use your keypad decoder, or you can like grapple up onto the roof and then go in that way and then subdue a guard, and you get like a bonus 007 thing. And the more 007, like if you get all the 007 bonuses, then you get more incentive and you can get closer to unlocking the game. I've beaten the entire game. So you get like bonus health and stuff like that. You get like a gold-plated pistol or whatever. So it's more damage when you're shooting, and it's more accuracy. It's really, really cool. That captures that aspect of GoldenEye, and then the multiplayer as well. You have like jetpacks, and you can grapple places.
Nice.
And you have like a ton of weapons. That's the thing too, is like GoldenEye has so many weapons.
So many weapons.
So great, so fun, and I think Agent Under Fire is like great. It's so good. I would,
wistful when you say that.
I would pop that one in and play, because it's also like the graphics are improved and the levels are so expansive as well. It's not even connected to a movie. It's a pretty hacky plot. Like it's like a clone thing. And
really, shut up. That's the plot of that. I never realized that.
It doesn't say. It's not like a movie where it explains the plot. But let's see if I can
Well, it's kind of like, do you remember, like, True Crime Streets of L.A., it's a Grand Theft Auto ripoff where you end up battling a dragon at the end of it out of nowhere.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Mm-hmm. There's driving missions, too. I forgot about that.
You did say that, yes.
Your assignment... Okay, so this is the assignment for the first mission. This is all I can find. We have received a call for help from our friends across the pond. CIA agent Zoe Nightshade...
Shut up!
...has been investigating the connection between a Hong Kong-based biotechnology firm, Identicon, and its parent company, Melprave Industries. Nightshade has gone missing, and her investigation is of keen interest to MI6. You must rescue her. So the first mission is rescuing... this CIA agent.
Agent Nightshade. Please use her name.
Zoe,
be respectful.
Zoe Nightshade.
Hello, my name is Zoe Nightshade. I'm an agent with the CIA, and I'm here to investigate Identicon. Could I come in?
Yes, come on in. But it's fun because it starts you off on the thing, and it's you end up uncovering like a Blofeld type clone thing.
What?
And you go all the way.
Blofeld?
Huh?
Like actual Blofeld?
No, it's just Diamonds Are Forever plot.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing. So
gotcha.
It's reminiscent.
God,
kind of
this
thing.
sounds awesome. I'm about to YouTube this and watch the game because I have nothing better to do.
You should. You really should. I've been watching not walkthroughs. I don't like those, but it would be a fun thing if you've never seen or played the game. But GoldenEye, there's a thing called speed running. Have you ever watched this?
I've heard of it, but I've not seen it for this one.
It's so fascinating to watch these people complete a mission in like 19 seconds because you don't technically have to kill anybody, and then you just go through the mission as quick as possible, get to that last thing, and then you can use getting shot by someone as like a push forward, or like you can throw grenades up into the air, and then when they come down, if you have to get the mathematics specifically correct so it can blow you forward 4 times and then get to the ending point, and it's like you trimming off like milliseconds to get the best time. It's really weird and crazy.
I don't get it. Is it like the first result? Is it like the world record 36 minutes?
Seconds. But yeah,
36
seconds. Yeah, world records are set with like this guy did the runway in 19 seconds.
I don't get how though. Hang on.
It's because of all these crazy things. Speed running, GoldenEye speed runs.
Well, sorry, I'm watching it right now. He is doing the damn record, and the current record is 58 seconds, and it looks like he's about to get less than that, which is fine. Oh, he's not doing very well. This is a really bad example. I'm going to go back. Send me a link.
All right. I'll do that right now while I try and figure out the next thing I was talking about. Agent Under Fire. Yeah, so it's not a movie. There's no movie tie-in. They were going to do Die Another Day, but or no, wait, hold on. This game came out in 2001. So they were going to do Oh no, they weren't going to do a movie. I think they just decided to do that game. So it's
why
just
not?
Not
Let's
a
do
tie-in.
it.
And
Yeah.
it's not Pierce Brosnan.
But it's his likeness.
It's not his likeness. It's
Shut up!
Completely different.
Show me the cover, dickhead.
It's not going to show him. You're going to have to look it up.
Yeah, but look at his. Oh my God! I always hold. Can you hold the cover closer to the camera for a quick second for the YouTube audience? I always thought that was Pierce Brosnan's likeness, but honestly, if you look close enough, it easily could not be him as well. That's nuts. That is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my fucking. Because Night Vision or Nightfire has Brosnan on the cover.
Yes, it does, and it's got Denise Richards.
Oh, interesting.
That's not Denise Richards.
No, that's Claudia Schiffer.
No, why would it be? She was in The World Is Not Enough.
Yeah, I was like, is that a sequel? Because that's awesome. Unofficial sequel style.
This hold on. I still got to send you. Hold on. I'm so sorry. This is probably very annoying to the people listening. But I'm
just cut it out.
Wait. I'm not going to cut anything.
I'll talk about
You got it.
was in there with the people, and they worked into the surgery room with legs falling off tables, and there was a squid coming out of the leg, and the sea was rough that day. Have I
Wow.
filled up enough time yet?
Yeah. I don't know what that was.
God,
But-
you didn't like that? I thought that was okay.
Here, I'm gonna email it to you, and then you'll be able to watch it. This
Yeah,
is
that would be cool.
it's a guy who he talks about like the best speed running or whatever. It's always he's great, but he'll do like things of different games, and I've been watching the GoldenEye ones because they're just so fascinating. Like one person just found out that if you look down and to the left or down and to the right, and then you use the C-pad to go, you save so much time because if you look up, the game has to render more things. So if you're just looking at the ground and half of a wall, it's rendering less, so you're able to go faster.
What?
Yeah. It's really fascinating. And then like on the message boards and shit, people are like, "Well, I mean that takes all the fun out of the game." And it's like, "We were having fun speed running? Fuck you. We're going fast, bitch."
Right. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun in a way because you're accomplishing something no one else has done. Is that not fun?
That's the fun. The fun of it is doing it as quickly as possible. There's other times where people have figured out glitches in the game. So if you go fast to the left or something, and then you throw a mine up in the air, and then you come back, it'll blow something up and then open the door automatically. So then you can just go right through. There's another glitch in the depot. Do you remember that level?
The depot? Yeah, depot.
You
yeah.
can just walk right through a wall, and that cuts off like a millisecond. But it's only if the pre-game visualization is the right visualization. So you have to like do all this stuff and just make sure that it gets correct. And you have to. It's so fascinating. It's such a weird world that I never would be a part of. But like watching these people accomplish this thing that's a fucking video game that I love. It's so interesting to watch. People play a game way different than I ever would have.
It is really fun when you discover those like subcultures in not just like in America, because there's so many. There's an infinite amount of them in so many different ways, you know. But when you find one specific to your curiosities and wants, it's like finding out that there's like a community of people that like love critters, and there's like fucking videos analyzing the movies, and you're like, wait a minute, you do,
You guys,
leave me alone.
I felt so alone for so long.
I now have a brethren, and I think I'm using that word correctly.
Well, I mean, it goes the same thing with these video games, where it's like I spent so much time of my like childhood not having friends except for you and Alex, and then we didn't hang out all the time, so it was like me just throwing on, you know, I had like a 5-disc CD changer, so I'd throw in 5 CDs and then just listen to those CDs while I was playing video games for fucking 5 hours. And it was the weirdest thing, but it's like I have such fond memories of just being alone and playing video games. And then years go by, you haven't touched them in a long time, and then you revisit them. Like, I would bring them to your place, and we play multiplayer. This is one we would love playing multiplayer on, because it was the same as Agent Under Fire, where it's fun, and there's, like, an original theme song in this one.
What's the storyline for that one? I remember that advertised in Best Buy.
Also Electronic Arts. Introduction. Let's see here. The world is once again in need of your talents, 007. Whoever writes these is a moron. As you know.
I like it. He's referring to you as, or me as 007. That fills me with pride.
And in this game, you're James Bond. You're Pierce Brosnan.
Which is even better because he's a fox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This game came out in 2003. And they were gonna, I'm pretty sure with this one, they had the likeness of Pierce Brosnan, so they were gonna do Die Another Day. But then they're like, well, it's too far gone past that, so no one's gonna want to, you know,
also that movie
play
was
that game.
awful.
Yeah, so they never ended up doing a Die Another Day game until 007 Legends, but we'll get to that. So the plot of this one is an original plot. The world is once again in need of your talents, 007. As you know, Phoenix International Corporation, run by the international green industrialist Raphael Drake, has
I
been...
love these. I love this stuff. It's so amazing.
Raphael Drake has been entrusted with dismantling warheads throughout the world.
Of course he has. Who wouldn't trust that guy to dismantle nuclear warheads?
I do love the idea that there is a green industrialist that's like, oh yeah, I'll totally dismantle warheads in every country. And then the country's like, totally, this can't go wrong.
Wait,
or we'll surrender your shit.
Do you mean green industrialist as in like clean energy?
I think so, yeah.
It's like, it's lowercase green is what I mean? Like,
yeah, green.
That's crazy that there's reference to it in 2003 and we're all dying.
Yep. Well, that's the thing is, sometimes I feel like these games are ahead of the, culture. It's interesting.
They're ahead of the curve, the cultural curve.
So anyway.
I guess Electronic Arts is now best friend? Like, what?
Raphael Drake has been entrusted with dismantling warheads throughout the world. These efforts have been billed as being philanthropic in nature, but we realize he has more sinister motives. How do you know that? Intelligence implicates
here we go.
Drake in organizing the theft of a secret component of the missile guidance hardware intended for the U.S. space weapons platform. Unfortunately, Drake has been very careful to keep his plans well hidden. This is where you come in, 007. With some help from Q and a number of key agents in the field, you must stop Drake and his plans for total world domination. Guess who's one of those agents that comes back into play?
006.
No. Zoe Nightshade from Agent Under Fire.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. She makes a cameo. She died in the in Agent Under Fire, but it turns out she was a clone, baby. So now she's in this one.
What?
Yeah.
There are clones in the James Bond video game universe that are fucking
I just
alive?
talked about it.
I know, but I didn't think they were successful. I mean, it's one thing to say clone. It's another to be like, hi, like, I'm alive now, and my clone died, my fully grown clone, because that's how clone technology works, is that we are born fully formed, like Sixth Day style with Arnold Schwarzenegger, not like a movie where that doesn't happen.
Multiplicity.
Not like real life with Dolly, the lamb.
Multiplicity,
they were fully formed.
I guess.
Many movies they're just fully formed. They just pop out like a 40-year-old Michael Keaton banging Andy McDowell. It's like, this is not how cloning works, everybody. And we wish it did, because that's what makes movies fun, but that's not what it makes. No sense. What vessel? It's like they're growing tissue into like a blank tissue baby, and then they're launching, like, I don't know, stem cell DNA into this thing, and it's like, oh, LOL, like, I'm a 50-year-old Austrian man now, and then it just like grows into that, and it's like, okay, like, I guess that's fine.
Well, it is interesting because it literally would make no sense, because your DNA doesn't indicate how old you are. It just indicates what you'll grow to be, basically.
It also doesn't necessarily mean you're going to look the same. Like, you can have a combination of DNA and just look, like, different. I mean, just, it is what, that's what makes humanity so unique, Gerrit.
But does Dolly the sheep have the same face as the clone?
All sheep look alike. Oops, there, I said it.
Kevin, you're
Sorry.
racist.
Yeah, don't at me in the comments, baby.
So this game also has multiplayer. We played this all the time, and you get to be characters from other movies. Like, you can be Max Zorin, you can be
the best
Aaron
one.
Samity again, you can be Knick Knack, Odd Job, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god, I'd love to see a Knick Knack Odd Job team-up movie. And they're both just like, the plane! And then the other one is like, I don't talk. I don't talk in these movies. I'd watch the shit out of that. Oh, man. I'd watch Baron Samedi up with Max Zorin, because Zorin's a Nazi. And Samedi, I mean, he's not like anti-Semitic, but he is like a demon, right?
Yeah, it's like
a voodoo
voodoo. Yeah.
guy. And he also represents the black culture in a way, because voodoo's a black culture thing, right?
Yeah, in the movie.
Is it not in real life?
I mean, it is. It's like Nolan's stuff, but it's also like not every black person has a fucking voodoo shrine in their house. It's so weird.
Is this like a Candyman 2 thing?
Probably. I mean, it's also Live and Let Die is notorious for being incredibly racist, and
Why? Because
book
of Sheriff
especially.
G.W. Pepper?
Not even just him. It's like it's utilizing stereotypes, and it's a checkered past, if you will. That movie.
Interesting.
The book is just fucking wow. Like the amount that Ian Fleming says the N-word freely is just like Jesus Christ.
Does
So,
Bond say it?
I don't remember.
Because
I
that
hope
would
not.
be awesome. Can you imagine doing like a fan film that's just a direct adaptation of Live and Let Die,
Ooh.
and then you're running around as James Bond just being racist? I would imagine a third of the population would love that, and that's a good amount of the population, honestly.
A third is Trump's base, so there's that.
That's what I mean. Just be like, you know how Dinesh D'Souza, how he always produces those crappy documentaries that aren't documentaries, they're fake, and then it brainwashes people because people are stupid and people want to believe that he's right.
I think I've heard the name. I haven't watched any of his shit because
Don't watch it. It's garbage. But you should definitely look up trailers. Don't even look up trailers. The trailers make you sad because you're just like, oh my god, people believe this.
Dinesh D'Souza, you've mentioned him multiple times. It's the same person who'll be like Obama's America.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and also
yeah.
like the death of and all that in the Second Civil War and shit, and like anyway, yeah, get him on board. And then who's the guy who produced Never Say Never Again?
He's dead, but
his ghost. It's fine.
Kevin McClory.
So we get Kevin McClory's ghost, who's like trying to stick it to the Broccoli family again, and he teams up with Dinesh D'Souza, and then they make Live and Let Die, and it's just like a Bond. Like it's like Sean Connery. He's 94, and he's just running around and he's going, the N-word, the N-word. I can't say it, but like he could say it because he slaps women, so it's all good.
Oh man, just what's the title of that movie, Kevin? Don't say it. All right. Oh god.
Ugh.
It's so funny because like we're clearly saying this in jest and fun. And
Much.
if we were anybody, they would point to episode like, I don't know, 51, where we're talking about how awful racist the racist this country is and systemic racism, and then cut to this one and be like, see, they're not taking it seriously. And it's like, you don't even get it. You don't get it.
I was thinking about this the other day because context matters, which is what you're saying, and you're right, obviously. But I think that in a weird way, as a society, we're approaching the tipping point where we're starting to be like turn away from the only thought being freedom of speech, and it turning around into, okay, guys, like let's be responsible in our freedom of speech. Like I get you can say those things, and we've been talking. That's been the main talking point for like decades. But now it's like but also shut up and use common sense. And it's so annoying to have to be the ones, like the majority of people are fucking mad about this, and yet we're still like getting the brunt of the bullshit. You know?
Well, the viewpoint that's like that I've adhered to is like, yes, you do have the freedom of speech, but you also, other people have their freedom of speech, and with that they can vilify yours. Like, you have to accept that there will be consequences for your racist piece of shit views.
I think
Sorry.
That's true, and I think it's important to call people out on that stuff.
I agree.
But I think even more so, like just on a level of media, or like a national level where it's involved in like the public discourse, where it's like, okay, guys, like straight up, we're not allowing that. Like, I'm sorry, but we can't, because you saying that is just gonna spread false just rumors, and that's how we got into the shit we're in right now, and it's time to get back to a point where we don't tolerate that kind of bullshit
I agree. There's dangerous rhetoric that, like, there was a story about this group of white people that were trying to, like, lynch a black guy on camera, and it's like, is anyone doing anything about this? I mean, it's like, you can see it. It's pretty screwed up. But it's is that like a freedom that he's trying to exhibit? It's like, that is wrong.
Was he on meth, though?
The white guy?
No, the guy they're trying to lynch. Because, like, if he's on meth, I mean, I kind of get it.
See, and that line right there is you doing a character, and that's why it's funny, because it's not you.
Yeah,
I hate
clarify
the idea
to the three viewers, I definitely don't think that that's how that should have gone down.
No, I mean, that's the thing is, like, I hate that you have to, like, you don't have to because no one cares.
Right,
really.
we have like three viewers, but
the idea that you have to, like, feel the need to explain shit. Like, I've talked to so many people who I've scrubbed my Twitter, I've deleted stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do that, because, like, I'll be able to answer for everything that happens, or I'll be able to apologize if I genuinely regret posting something, you know? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. It's just fascinating. It's just, like, to call someone garbage even though they've done this or done that to help people, and it's like, that's the true value right there. So...
I mean, people are complicated.
Yeah,
it's hard
we are.
To water them down, and we want our idols to be, like, perfect because of what they do and what they represent. Prince is an easy example. Mm-hmm. That comes to mind, where he's, like, the man, let's be honest. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, he had kind of a sordid personal life. And
well, he was, like, against homosexuality or something. Or wasn't it trans? I mean, RuPaul's against trans people.
Well, I actually didn't know that, but here, that's another good example, though. I guess for me, I was talking about Prince. I think he was, like, into teenagers, I guess.
Oh, no, I haven't heard that. I know he, like, there's a bunch of people that came out and said that Prince was their dad after he died.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
I didn't know teenagers.
Yeah, so I don't know the exact details, but I know there's something there. But the point being that if you look hard at anybody's life, there's always going to be, like, mistakes. And I'm not saying, like, the term mistake applies to so many things, but it's just kind of like, we all have to accept that. I mean, shit is what it is. And sometimes it sucks. And, we don't have to look to others we don't have to put a statue of Prince up because we tore a statue of some other asshole down. We don't have to have a statue at all. Mm-hmm. Or we can have a statue of an elephant. Like, I love elephants. We fucking killed all of them.
Yeah. It's just a complicated world, but
let's put up a statue of a tiger. Let's put up a statue of SpongeBob SquarePants riding a tiger. Like, why do these statues have to be of complicated people? That would remove the complication. Unless all of a sudden you realize Steven Hillenburg was, like, a fucking closeted racist or something. Rest in peace.
Let's just put up statues of fictional characters. Like Rocky. Rocky has no...
There we go.
He's in Philly, right?
Yeah, he is. They do have a statue of Rocky.
So he's not a real person. It's not Stallone. Stallone has done some shit, but Rocky hasn't, so let's keep him up there.
Although he kind of... I don't want to say the R word, but he almost R-worded Adrian in Rocky 1.
Oh, really?
He makes her pretty... I mean, let me put it this way. Heather has many different views from me on movies, but watching Rocky, even though she ended up liking it overall, we both were like, this scene might be a bit outdated.
Wow.
So.
Then you know what I say? Tear down the Rocky statue.
It's funny because there's a statue of RoboCop in Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Did that ever go through? I think it did.
I hope so, because that movie is amazing.
The one, I love how they're putting up a statue of RoboCop.
I think they wanted to put up a statue of Bill Hicks somewhere in either Houston or Little Rock, Arkansas. I think I'm assuming it's Houston or Austin, Texas, but I don't know if that ever went up.
I mean, that'd be great. I think I like the idea of statues. I really do, because I think
we have that Rosa Parks one in Grand Rapids where she's...
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense because she was never in Grand Rapids, right?
I think she's from Michigan, though.
Is she? Let's
I
look
think
this up.
so.
Let's look up.
God damn it.
She was born in Alabama. She did die in Detroit.
Ah, there you go. She might have a history of some kind with Grand Rapids, but it's funny because if you look at the statue, she's standing up in front of the bus seat. It makes no sense.
Right.
Like, why is she standing?
I never thought of that.
She sat down, and that was the fucking thing.
Oh, that's funny. Did oh God, what was? How about this? I guess I have a question for you. Do you think that it is appropriate to name streets in states where historical figures have never visited, like to name streets after them? And like, for example, in Grand Rapids, they have Martin Luther King Boulevard.
It's Division, right?
Division.
They changed it. I genuinely think it's a weird thing for the city to do. I think Chris Rock has a joke about it, but it's like, if a city names something Malcolm X Boulevard or Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, that's basically where the city has made black people go. So it's like the bad part of town. That's the part that I swear, I'm pretty sure that's his joke. But if you look, that's pretty common. I mean, Main Street's going to be pretty white, and then Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard is going to be pretty black. And it's such an odd thing for a city to do. Like, you'd never see Fulton Street named, fucking Harriet Tubman Lane.
Right.
You'd never see that because it's like a weird empty gesture. Where it's like, just put the money in the schools and not into a fucking Google Maps app or whatever the hell you're doing. It's so strange. Like, I don't think black people look at that and go, now we feel honored. Thank you for that.
Right. That really hasn't changed anything.
No. It's the same as, like, taking Aunt Jemima or Uncle Ben off the shit. There was another one. What was the other thing?
I thought you supported that, though.
I support it, but they shouldn't have fucking publicized it. That's the issue I have, is, like, making a big hullabaloo about something. Meanwhile, Land O'Lakes just took the Native Indian off of the butter they
boxes.
have.
Yeah,
they just took it off, and it's like, oh my god, it's gone now. That's what they should have done. But they made a big whole thing about it, like, look how great we are, we're changing the world, look at us. And then media companies take that and run with it and be like, well, I don't think, and then it shoots off into news, and it's like, this isn't news, just get rid of it. That's it. That's all this should have been. You do your part by not having it anymore. And then the lawmakers can stop letting no-knocks happen, and then also putting necks on people and killing them. I don't know how this is a fucking debate in this country right now. But
well, to be fair, I heard he had a little bit of meth.
He was on meth.
I'm sorry.
I love when that became part of the story.
I know, me
that
too.
That is so... You guys, you don't fucking get it.
It's so funny because... But the thing is, you can explain this to people that will just not care. They're like, well, I don't give a shit. Like, fuck that. Like, I don't do meth. Like, that's stupid. I don't do anything. I just drink and beat my wife.
And wear a wife beater. How about the guy in Aurora, Colorado that shot up a theater during Dark Knight Rises, wasn't on meth, and is still alive right now? How about that?
Yep.
Well, he surrendered peacefully. Well, then why didn't you still just shoot him in the fucking head? Because he's clearly a worse person than George Floyd. So there's that. I don't know. If you like to be judge, jury, and executioner, well, then why don't you fucking do it on, whoever you deem that's not just black? I don't know. It makes me so angry.
Interesting.
Yep, I've been thinking a lot.
I've
been thinking a lot about video games too, but we'll get to those next week.
We're almost there. Oh, is the episode's like over now? I feel like
we're almost. I think we're at an hour and a half. I don't know.
God damn it! All right, let's just end it. Fucking Christ! Well, hey, this has been the fucking shit. Fucking.
We got through 7 games. That's pretty good.
That's pretty goddamn good. We didn't get to Bloodstone.
No,
did you ever play Bloodstone or Quantum of Solace?
We'll get to it next week.
Fuck. That's fine.
Before we go, Kevin, do you have anything else to say? I'm going to plug some stuff.
I did want to plug some stuff. I wanted to plug outside.
Besides your
outside
butt.
is pretty cool. What'd you say?
I said besides your butt.
That's what I thought you said. Oh, I know what I want to plug. Okay, so I watched the first 2 episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm not plugging the show. It's a decent show so far, and I'd like to look into it a little more.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to plug M. Night Shyamalan's movie version.
No.
And specifically what I want to plug is a single scene on YouTube you can watch. It's about a 20-second scene, and it's a scene of the Benders. Have you seen it? It is
It's awful.
You have seen it, though?
I have.
It is so fucking funny. It's very, very funny. And it is I was laughing. I'm laughing like I was laughing now. They are just like they're like dancing in a synchronized way to lift a little
it's one rock
stone and it floats away, and it was
it hits one guy and like shatters like it's dirt. It's so fucking stupid.
So I want to plug that scene and just have at that, guys. It is fun.
If you watch Ryan George on YouTube, he's a part of he does the pitch
Screen
meetings.
Rant.
Yeah, Screen Rant. He did a pitch meeting for it's just called The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
but
his Avatar had like just come out.
Yeah, he did one for that, and it's amazing. Like,
I'm gonna have to watch that because I do like his stuff.
You'll get it from just watching a couple episodes of the show.
I'll plug one more thing. I've been reading a lot, and it's fun to read. I don't have to defend reading. I fucking anyways. And one of the things I would like to promote is Jack Reacher books. I've only read about 7, but you know, when you're in the mood for not having to think too much, it's fun to read a book about a guy who just beats people up, and it's just fun. I guess I'll plug that. It was 50 cents to get that one.
Wow.
And I don't go to Goodwill anymore or Salvation Army because of there's a pandemic. Did you hear about that?
No.
It's like a pandemic. It's like when a disease spreads like everywhere, and it is deadly. Yeah.
That's only in Italy. That's not here.
No. And in fact, they actually have curbed their cases.
Listen, Kevin. Listen, the flu kills how many people every year? I was talking to my dad about this, and he was using the flu excuse on me. Like, I was just joking, obviously, but like we were talking, and he's like, "Well, how many? The flu kills like 400,000 every year," and I'm like, oh, "No, it doesn't."
Yeah,
are you talking America, or what are you talking? He's like, "Yeah, America." I'm like, listen, I've looked this up, and we've talked about it. The flu in a bad year kills maybe 60,000 people in a year. That's a 12-month span. Corona has been here for 7 months, and it's already killed 130,000 people. And it's climbing.
I mean,
it is okay. So that means it's gone up 5,000 since I fucking talked to my dad about it.
Yeah, dude.
So, enough with the flu shit. Enough with talking and comparing it to the flu. Enough. It is beat those numbers. The flu will never. Okay, here's the deal. The flu will never kill more people than coronavirus has killed, ever.
Right, but I mean. You mean ever cumulatively?
In a year.
Oh, in a year.
Well, in a year span, in one, flu season. There we go. In one flu season. And also, I'm sick of hearing, Jackie and I were talking about this, but I'm sick of hearing people talk about how the summer will make it go away. Guess what? She's from the Philippines. They still have the flu in the Philippines. Even if the whole year around, it's fucking hot. You know why? Because it doesn't stop in the summer. The reason that it's less here is because people go out more in the summer, right? And in the winter, we're all huddled together and we're like hitting work and everything. Like, people get sick, but it spreads less in the summer because we're outside. That's the difference. If you're in your homes, but they still get the fucking flu in hot places.
Right, but to be fair, I mean, let me just give you, because I like spectrums. On a spectrum of life, we all die, right? So if we all die and coronavirus causes death, and flu causes death, and life causes death. I just don't see what there is to worry about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I guess you're right. When you really do think about it, it's not like the government laid down and let a virus happen, even though they knew about it for 4 months before they even took any action.
Right. And it's not
So
like they're
it's
forcing teachers back to school for their own personal economic gain. I mean, obviously not.
You know, it's really not the government's fault when they could have had all of the supplies and resources to end it. I guess it's our fault for just living in the world, I guess. Just
Here's
being
the
alive.
thing.
It's our fault. I'm sorry.
I just feel bad about even criticizing the government because I know a lot of people say it's their job to do this, but it's kind of rude to criticize because, you know, they're just people.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're trying. They're up there. They're trying. They're forcing us back to work. They're forcing us back to school.
You know, Kevin, they're just elected officials.
Yeah. And
That's all they are. They can't help that they have a job to fulfill. I mean, they didn't know that they were signing up for this.
And the thing is,
even though they had a handbook.
It's really tough, too, because they flip-flop. I mean, they're only saying what we want them to say, what we want to hear.
Would you say they're weather vane politicians? I've been saying that constantly lately. I love that.
I remember you saying that about Biden last week.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, have you noticed?
I love it.
Dude, have you noticed the Republicans are weather vane Republicans now because Trump's base is growing, or they're not, I'm sorry. They're growing in loudness, but they're not growing in numbers, and the Republicans are noticing that, so they're trying to figure out if they should step away from him or double down on it. Weather vane Republicans, baby!
Oh my God, I can't wait until that fucking idiot is just... So,
anything else to plug?
Please, for the love of God, register to vote if you can.
I have my absentee.
Age. I do too. I'm worried. I mean, I guess I keep getting notifications or online about the post office shutting down. I know that was a huge issue like 3 months ago. Is that still an issue? Because that's a huge issue. Because I can't vote by mail then.
Yep, I know. I'm gonna try and send mine out. I'm gonna do some research and. Well, that's the thing is like you can't split the ticket in Michigan this year. I thought you usually could, but
what do you mean?
Like vote for? I mean, I'm not going to anyway. But so it's just you pick Democrat or Republican,
and that's it.
Yeah,
you can't vote for like okay, president. I'm doing Democrat, but for other things.
Oh, I'm saying minor election. Not. I haven't gotten my presidential ballot yet.
Right.
But
Makes
anywho,
sense.
sorry, we're getting way
off course.
Okay.
We'll delete all of this.
Nope, it's all in there. Long episode, who cares? I have just edited a video to promote my album that's coming out. It's called Slight Return. So hopefully that'll be
a new album?
Yeah.
What?
It's 2 weeks. Well, it's 7 shows. We didn't do all 10. But it's the audio is going to be put together from the shows we had at Dr. Grin's during the pandemic. So,
shut up. You mean from the last couple weeks?
Yeah.
You're going to make an album off of that?
Yeah, there's some Corona jokes in there. There's me yelling at a crowd member because he's like, we don't want to talk about COVID. And I go off on him. And I'm like, what do you think? We've all been living the same life for 3 fucking months. What do you think I've been writing about? Zebras? Yeah, I got a lot of jokes on African wildlife.
How long do you expect it to be?
It's going to be an EP, so it's probably going to be like 25 to 30 minutes.
Whoa. And what's it called?
Slight Return.
Wow. Is slight going to be spelled SLEIGHT, like sleight of hand?
Dude, I thought about it, but I think it's too heady. Because also I figured out, I researched, but slight, like the E is kind of like an older way of spelling it. So now slight without the E is used for both of those words. So it has like double meaning.
So it's American English fucking shit up again.
Yep.
Nice.
So slight all lowercase, return all uppercase.
Whoa. I like it.
Thanks.
Cool.
And it's also a Jimi Hendrix reference because he has Voodoo Child Slight Return.
Can you imagine? I can't believe it. He died, and he was 27, and this was in the 60s that he died.
70, wasn't it?
Was it 70?
71?
It might have been. You're right. Woodstock. Wait, when was Woodstock?
69.
Okay.
I
Nice.
think he
Nice.
died. He died in either. I think he died in 70. Yep, 1970.
Okay, so he died a long time ago, 50 years ago, and and he would be alive today, conceivably, because he wouldn't even be 80 yet, and he missed out. All these people died, and they all missed out on so much crazy shit.
Dude, I know. But then you almost think, are they better off dying and leaving that legacy, or would they be happy living this long?
Well, I don't know, because in The Dark Knight Rises, it teaches us that it's not... Wait, hold on. Dark Knight teaches us it's better to be the hero and then die before you become a villain.
You either become the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Right. So using, but, and then in The Dark Knight Rises, that whole thing makes no sense.
Yep.
Because it was all based on a lie, and then the city was taken over for like a year, and then all the cops were forced to underground with a bunch of grooming tools. And so I guess what I'm saying is I guess maybe this isn't the best metaphor to talk about a life, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you can't really use that phrase to describe both movies because that phrase is wrapped up by the end of The Dark Knight. Because the idea was... I can't believe we're analyzing The Dark Knight. Aaron Eckhart plays Harvey Dent's Two-Face, and he says this, and the idea is... you know, what he said, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. It's foreshadowing because he ends up becoming the villain that creates the end, like the third act of this movie. And he is about to kill Commissioner Gordon's kid. Batman saves him. And then the city needed Harvey Dent. They needed him as the face of good.
Right.
So for Batman to take on the killing of Harvey Dent, then it becomes now Batman's the villain and Harvey Dent is still the hero. So
right.
You either live long enough to see or you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. So he died a hero, basically.
Right. Until you flash forward 8 years and then you realize that he died a villain and then Batman disappeared.
No.
Oh.
You don't realize that Harvey Dent was the villain until Bane says it on the steps of the Capitol or some shit.
But then you do realize it after that. And then that impacts morale. But
this is when all that stuff happened. Like the Batman goes away because he's the villain now. And then he comes back. Everyone loves him for some reason, even though he killed Harvey Dent.
Right.
But it's like good to see him again because he's like battling Bane. But then Bane reveals that secret, and then that makes the city come together. It's almost like him saying that had no effect.
I kind of feel like ultimately what this illustrates is that movie's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of The Rise of Skywalker in a way.
Well, I mean, Jackie and I watched Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, and they're just so perfect. And we didn't even consider watching The Dark Knight Rises.
I've been wanting to watch Dark Knight Rises just for fun, just because it exists. It's kind of like watching Justice League. Like, I don't like that movie at all. And actually, I tried watching it, and it's so bad I couldn't watch it, especially knowing that the new cut is coming out.
Yeah.
But that's obviously not going to happen with Dark Knight Rises. And it's just kind of nice to see another incarnation of Christian Bale in the bat suit, really.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only one with him flying the thing, even though he flies it for like 5 minutes, because that's a 2-hour and 40-minute movie, and there's so much other shit going on. Anyway.
You know what? It's like, for me, I guess it would be like playing James Bond games, where The Dark Knight Rises is the newer Xbox 360. It's 007 Legends. That's what it is. It's so
Oh, we didn't get to
awful.
watch that one. Oh, we gotta stop. We just gotta stop because
We'll stop.
I don't want to. Because I also want to talk about like Rogue Agent and.
Yep.
Anyway, we're done. I don't want to even give any more hints.
GoldenEye is The Dark Knight, and Batman Begins is the next one we're going to talk about. Well, no, Batman Begins is
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Agent Under Fire.
Agent Under Fire is The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. And then...
But oddly, it's not better. Like, that's the thing is, like, rewatching it, it's like they're on the exact same level and they teeter depending on what movie you're watching.
You mean Dark Knight or Batman Begins?
Yes.
For me, I mean, I know... this is just preference. Personal
genuinely.
Preference. I know. They are, like, amazing, both. But for me, just because of how iconic it is, it's Dark Knight all the way for me. I mean, it just has to be. It's just... It's so good.
But when's the last time you watched Batman Begins?
It's been a while, and I do, but I just want to say, I get what you mean. I really do. I've balanced these thoughts, and it might even change every time you watch it, but just whenever I'm in a given conversation, it's just so hard to take away from how powerful and impactful it was to see Dark Knight the first time and to build off of it. I mean, we were teenagers. We were able to go see it on our own.
Yep.
And just everything with Heath Ledger and just the lines in that movie. It's just perfect. It's like my favorite comic book movie.
Okay. Can you, it's two things, man. I'm so sorry this episode's so long, but they're enjoying it.
Split it in half.
Nah, it's like Godfather and Godfather Part 2. Which one's better to you?
To me, Godfather 1 is better.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't say Godfather 2 is any less
Not at all.
bad.
I think that they're both amazing.
See, that's how I feel with Batman Begins.
Yeah, I believe
and Dark
you.
Knight.
I totally get it. I totally get it.
And I think it's like, it's almost like they're one movie. It's this weird thing where those two are so good together that you're watching one and you're like, I can't wait for the next one. Mm-hmm. And then you're watching The Dark Knight and you're like, this is clearly better, right? And then you watch Batman Begins again and you're like, fuck, dude, this is so good. And then you watch The Dark Knight and you're like, but this is better. It's the same as playing GoldenEye and Agent Under Fire, where you're playing Agent Under Fire and you're like, Jesus Christ, I can use this missile and then I can pick where it wants to go. That is so cool. But is GoldenEye better? And then you play that and you're like, I'm Oddjob right now. This is easily the better game. But is it?
I mean, it's just like watching Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation, and Fallout back to back.
It's Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and Fallout.
That's all it is.
That trilogy.
It's all three of them. You're just like, Jesus. Like, I can't watch one of those movies without watching the other two. Like, seriously. Yeah. Because they're so good. And you're just kind of like, I kind of want to just continue this experience at this point. I have nothing better to do because life is right now happening like it is.
Dude, I would say that's the best trilogy of all time. I know there's technically more in the series, but for me, it's Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and Fallout. Like, they're all perfect. So good.
Although, best trilogy, oh, man. Oh, God. We should do that. We'll do an episode on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Best trilogy. Down. Perfect.
Great. Hobbit.
That'll be the end of the season. No. Alrighty. More video games next week. We're going to talk about the influence of stuff. Daniel Craig. I got it all written down.
Blah, blah.
We just did this at the same time, you two people.
Yay.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
That was it.
So long, everybody. Enjoy pizza.
I thought we were done.
Have an IPA, and we're done. We delete this part. Good night, everybody.
I'll put that at the end.
Okay. Oh, man.